Alright guys, so now let me quickly introduce you to MT4 itself, which is MetaTrader 4. So now, in the case where you are new to trading, we have terminals at which we use in executing our order. Maybe we want to buy, want to sell, want to modify our order, right? So we have different type of terminal. We have the MT5 terminal, we have the MT4 terminal, we have C trader, we have different type of terminal, but the popular one are MetaTrader, which is MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5. So on this course, we are dealing with MetaTrader 4, right? And the difference is just the availability of tools, provided by this terminal. And in most cases, most of the things you need for trading, you can find it on MetaTrader. I have basically never used C trader before. I only use MetaTrader 5 and MetaTrader 4 to execute my trade, and I'm fine with that. So and let me quickly introduce you to MetaTrader 4. So now, first thing first, in the case where you wish to have something like this, so I will advise you to sign up with a broker. But before you sign up with just anyhow broker, so I want you to make your research, right? So I don't mind if you pause this. I will advise you to just pause this and go and make your research on a broker, and popular ones are maybe Xness, IC Market. I'm currently using IC Market, and so on. Pepperstone and so on. There are a lot of brokers. So how do you choose between these brokers, right? So first thing first, you need to make your research on which broker and how they make money from you. Maybe they make money through commission or through spread or whatever, because you need to make sure that your goal, which is to make profits, aligns with your broker's goal or your broker's way of making profit. Because some brokers make money when the trader lose money, and they lose money when the broker make money. So you need to make sure that you avoid such broker. So you need to make your research. Also, you need to make sure that you work with you have a broker that is regulated. What I mean by regulated is they're not doing anything fraudulent. And that is because, so let's say your stop loss is around here and maybe the price is still here. You just realize that your stop loss gets hit even before the price gets to your stop loss. So automatically the broker is trying to cheat you. So make sure you make your research on what broker is fit enough for your agenda. So in the case you are interested in broker that have your interest in mind, make your research and go for broker that is regulated, that you can potentially sue and still win. For example, maybe you are in the US, try to go for a broker that is regulated in US or regulated in a country where you can potentially sue them in case where they do something malicious. You'll be like, okay, for example, someone that is far away, you can just go ahead and say you want to sue someone, a broker that is far away. The question is, and now you probably won't win, so they'll be able to manipulate your trade, they'll be able to mess with your trade, and you need a broker that is reputable, right? So you do not just want to go for a broker that maybe you had from your friend and you realize that they just set up 2 years ago. They've not even experienced 5 years business downtown, so you don't know if you can trust them with your fund. No, do not register broker because your friend asked you to register. So even in this lecture, I won't recommend any broker because I don't want you to just blindly go for my recommendation. My advice for you is just that when you are choosing your broker, choose a broker that have your interest in mind, that is regulated, that is reputable, depending on the type of trading you want to partake in. For now, for practice sake, you do not need this particular point. But as you go deep, you need a broker that have a server that is close to where you intend to buy your VPS. So that's another thing. But for now, like I said, for this course sake, we just want to learn. You do not need that. You can just ignore that last point. But as you go deeper, you might need a broker that have a server that is close to where you intend to buy your VPS. So let's say you want to buy a VPS from a particular company that have server in the New York, and it doesn't make sense to have a broker that only have server in China, or far away. Try to get a broker that have server close to New York or in New York, so that it will help in latency and stuff. Just like I said for slippage, the distance, the more the distance between your broker server and your the point at which you execute your trade, that will determine how fast your trade will be executed, and that will also determine lower slippage in the case where there is no much volatility. So to wrap this up, make sure you choose a broker that have your interest in mind, that is regulated, that is reputable, and basically just go for broker that is recommended by someone that okay is already in the trading world, and is doing well and have experience. Do not get a recommendation from someone who have not experienced anything in forex. So you need a friend who have done well, who is doing well for himself or herself, and go for the recommendation. So make sure that you make this research as well. Know how the broker make money. Is it off you, or is it when you lose that the broker make money? Make sure they have your interest aligned, and so on. So that is what you need. Then when you determine the broker to go for, create an account with the broker. When you create an account with the broker, do not start with your actual money. So there's something called demo trading and there's something called real trading. So some people call this demo trading trial. For example, Eknex call it trial. So they don't call it demo trading. So but for high C market, it's called demo trading. But also in general, it's called paper trading, right? So now what this is that it's going to give you a virtual money. So it's not an actual money. So it's just for you to practice or see how Forex actually works. For example, I can easily trigger a buy. If I trigger a buy now, okay. If I trigger a buy now, you realize that this particular balance and equity, they are currently on the same amount, right? You can see my balance equal to my equity. But the moment my buy trade get triggered, so I think it is loading something. The moment my buy trade get triggered, you realize that my equity is now moving, right? So you can see, and this is my floating profit or loss. So my balance still stays the same, but my equity is moving, just like I explained in the terminologies. So the moment I close this, then this value plus this value will be my new balance, and my equity will now be the same as my balance as well. So let me close this, and you realize that yes, now my equity and my balance are now the same, right? So that is simply one of the terminology I try to explain to you, the balance and the equity. So if I try to open another position, you can see that my balance stays the same and my equity is now moving according to this profit or loss incurred. Right? So, and when I close it, you realize that the equity and the balance will return back to their to be the same, and the equity or the balance will be whatever profit or loss I close this at. So let me close this. You can see that now they have changed based on what I secured, the profit or loss that I secured. You can see. So that is simply one of the things I explained. So let me quickly introduce you to MetaTrader in case where you are new to MetaTrader. So first thing first, let me remove this. And this is your chart, which is equivalent to the trading view part that I showed you. And remember I told you that we have different kind of time frames. So these are the time frame, the main time frame in MetaTrader. It's 4. You can see this is the 1 minute time frame. Each bar has contained 1 minute, right? So this is it. So if in case where you want to zoom close, maybe you are amazed that this is bigger. No, it is not bigger. It is the same thing with the trading view version that I showed you. It's because I only zoom closer. So you can see each candle contains 1 minute because I'm on 1 minute time frame. If I change to 5 minutes, each candle contains 5 minutes activity, right? So if I change to 1 hour, each candle contains 1 hour activity. You can see this is 5 p.m., this is 6 p.m., this is 7 p.m. and so on. And if I change to 1 day, each candle contains what happened every day. This is 9th of March, this is 10th of March, and this is 11th of March, and so on. So that is time frame. You can see that is it. So, and this is the main chart area, right? And this is the time. So basically what you see here is not the actual time. So in the case where maybe we have grid, so don't get confused that okay, maybe okay, so let me take that. So don't get confused that maybe this particular time that is written here, like I mean this 19th of March 2026. So don't get confused that okay, maybe it is this. No, it is not. This is it. You can see this is there is a little node here. And in the case where you still find it confusing, just come to this, which is this crosshair, or you say Control F. I don't know if Command F will work for you if you're on Mac. Once again, go to your broker, register with a broker that after making your research, you are fine with how they make money and so on. You are sure that okay, yes, they are regulated. So you create a paper account with them, a demo account, then you download MetaTrader for the platform for that particular broker, right? Then you'll be able to open this, and when you open this, you log in. So if you come to the bottom here, so you can see the login, you'll be able to log in, then input your details, then select the server. So demo live, you can see this particular broker have different server, so the server will be specified in the demo account you created. Then you click on login and wait for it maybe for a few seconds and it will load, right? So that is that. Let me quickly preview on this terminal. So you can see, just like I showed you in the trading view, so we have different time frames. You can see we have the 1 minute time frame, and each bar here, it means what happened every 1 minute, and here what happened every 5 minutes, what happened every 1 hour, what happened every day. You can see if I'm to activate this crosshair, you can see you can activate it through Control F or Command F. I don't know if Command F will work on Mac. So you can see the time here at this bottom. So you can see this is everyday candle. So this is what happened every day, right? Except weekend, because I mean this is what happened every day, right? So that is that. So you know what? Let me quickly use let's use Euro JPY. I mean just use Euro USD. So I would like to zoom close. So this is it. This is 5 minute time frame. This is what happened every 5 minutes. And if I switch to 1 hour, this is what happened every 1 hour, right? So that is just it. And also you can see this is a bearish candle. And how do I know it is a bearish candle? It is simply because I realized that the opening price, right? The opening price is higher than the closing price. This is the close price and this is the opening price. So how do I know the opening price or the closing price? So is it that you put your mouse on it, you can see it's pop out the details. It gets me the time for that bar, the time this candle, this bar was opened, this bar starts forming, the opening price, the high price, the low price, the close price, the volume. Then you can see the details is also here. You can see. So, but due to my experience, I know that my color, this particular color, is a bearish color. It means bearish, and this means bullish. So, like I said, it doesn't necessarily need to be green or red. So all you need to do is know what color is assigned to what candle. Also, you can change this by right clicking on the chart and going for property, right? So under your property, so you can change this. So you can see that, okay, for the background, which is this background, you can change this to maybe yellow. So you see that in action. You can see a preview, right? So let me quickly reset. So for the foreground, which is this text, so I can also change it from white to maybe let's say yellow. You can see it has changed. This is just a preview. Until I click on OK, that is when it is going to apply this. So I can change that. So let me just reset this. I don't want. So now another thing we can do is, for the bullish candle, let's say I want it to be blue, right? You can see, and I want the boundary and the wick to be maybe yellow. You can see, and now it is simple to identify that, okay, anytime I see a blue candle that have this boundary color, this yellow, I know that yes, it is a bullish candle. So, and let's go back and let's change for the bearish candle, so which is this white. So I can say, okay, you know what, when I have a red, and the bar down should also be red, so that, okay, good. And I can also, let's go back and change this green, this bullish candle to green. So I'll change this to green and this to green, so that, yes, so you can see it is almost equivalent to trading view version. And I can also change this background, like I said. So let's say I want to change it to white, just like I want to make it look like the so let's say I want to change to white, just like the trading view version. So I can change this to black so that it will be visible, and you can see we are coming close, right? You can see we are close to what we have on the trader. You can see we are coming close to what we have on the trading view. Let's say you don't want to lose all of these settings. So what you can do is you can right click on the chart, then go for template, then go for save, right? So I can just say my chart. Okay, let me say my chart, right? So I'll say my chart, right? In case where I open another chart, when I open another chart, and I would like to have this thing. So instead of having to do the setting again and everything, no, I do not need it. I can just right click and go for templates, go for load templates. Then I'll be able to load my templates, and you can see this is one of the template I just saved. The moment I say open, it automatically configure this chart to be like this. You can see can see. So it is as simple as that. So another thing is that so I don't know if you are comfortable with this. You know what? Let me just reset this particular one. So I would say so I'll say property, then I'll say reset. So okay, I think I'm fine with this. So another thing you realize that we have different kind of charts. So we have the traditional candlestick, which is a Japanese candlestick, which is this one. We have a line chart. So you can see here a line chart. So you can see it's more like a line. So this is it. You can see it is like a line. So in the case where you are comfortable with this, of course, I'm very sure you won't be comfortable with this. So in case where this is what you are comfortable with, it's possible. And in the case where you want a bar chart, so this is it. So by default, you might have a bar chart. So you can come here and switch it back to time frame. I mean to candlestick, just like this. And as you've seen so far, you can zoom out and you can also zoom in. So in the case where you are trying to move to this to the back, and as you move, it keep taking you back to the beginning, you know, to the forming bar. So what you can do is, because this is checked, so now I've disabled it, and I can move to the left hand side of the bar, right, of the chart. And let's say you want to go back, you want to jump back to the forming bar, you can just click on this, right? So in the case where you want to create a little space, you want this little space on in here, you know, you can go for this. You can see, so you can see it is also not letting me go back, so it's creating a space. And you can also disable it, and in case you can see, you can toggle this. So you try to play with this as well. Another thing that is important to us as an algorithmic trader is this auto trading, right? So you can see this auto trading is like a permission for an automated program like the one we are going to be creating on this course. It permits it to send out trade, right? So in the case where this this auto trading is turned off, so it will not allow sending of order, but it will run. It will keep running. There will be activities done by the automated trading bot or EA, but there will be no activity like sending of order. It will not permit sending of order. So that is just it. So the moment you disable this, it will not permit sending of order, right? So make sure that it is turned on if you want to trade using EA, right? So another thing is you can create an order using this. You can see one way of creating an order is by using the one-click trading. So another thing, you can click an order. You can see this pop up that it is telling me that do I want to sell? Or do I want to buy? And what type of market do I want to? Do I want a pending market, or do I want a pending market, and so on? You know, what is the stop loss? What is the take profit? What is my volume? What should be the size? You know, and what comment do I want? This is optional actually. Also, the stop loss is optional. The take profit is optional. So in the case where I'm dealing with a pending order, what type of pending order do I want? A buy limit, a sell limit, a buy stop, a sell stop? Do I want the order to expire? You know, that kind of information. So in the case where you want to place an order, you can place an order through this, and it will place an order starting, and it will allow you to be able to change the symbol. So currently the default will be the chart symbol at which you were currently focused on when you click on this. So you will notice that when I click on this, it was on the default was GBP USD. Okay, notice that, but I can change it, right? But let's say I'm on Euro USD. So you can see the default is Euro USD. So that is that. So you can also play with other features. In most cases, you will surely have Market Watch, just like me. But in the case where you do not have Market Watch, all you can do is you can go for View, and you can see you can activate or deactivate the Market Watch from here. You can see I've deactivated it, and you can bring it back, Market Watch. So the Market Watch is more like a list or a favorite list where you want to you want like a shortcut to be able to open a particular pair or instrument or symbol. So in this course, we might be referencing a pair or an instrument or a security by maybe pair, right? So they're more like interchangeable, you know. So let's say you're interested in trading gold, you're interested in trading silver, you know, make sure you have them here so that you won't always have to find gold or silver. And now, in the case where you are interested in trading a particular thing, for example, let's say I'm interested in trading gold, but gold is not here. So what you can do is you can go for view, you can go for symbols, you know. Okay, you know what? Let me scroll to the bottom so that you can see when it gets added. So you can go for view again. Let's go back. Go for view, then symbol. Then now these symbols are classed, right? So let me close this. So these symbols are classed. You can see we have crypto 2, these are, word cryptos, altcoins, and we have the major crypto, which is BTC USD, Ethereum USD, and so on. So you also have the actual peers, the actual Forex peers, the major peers, which are this Euro USD and so on. So this, the moment the color of this is gold, that means you already have it on your market watch. But in the case where it is not gold, for example, this GBPU odd, surely it is not here. So you can also bring it to your market watch, but that's not my target. So let's assume you want to bring in gold. Gold is under metal, right? And this is it, gold USD. That is my target, which is this. So now is either I click on it and I click on show. Automatically you can see that it jumped here, right? So you can reverse this lecture, you can reverse it a little to see that, to see how it jumped. So in the case where I want to include maybe silver USD, when I double click, it will also add it. Or when I click on it and click on show, it will also add it. So that is that. You can also add any other symbol or instrument or security that you want, right? So that is that. That is how to add symbol to your chart. Then after adding it, you can easily click on it and right click and go for chart window. Then you can see it's loaded for a few seconds and I can change it back. It was by default, it was on this bar chart. So you have to zoom close. You can see it was on bar chart. So you can easily change it back to candlestick. You can remove this grid. You can right click and change it to this grid. And in case where maybe you want to do some configuration, you can always come here and do some configuration and so on. Maybe you are interested in 5-minute time frame, you can change it to 5-minute time frame and so on. Then now you can see this is the bid price, this is the ask price, like we explained. So if you decide to sell gold now, this is the price to be executed. You can see the price is changing, the market is open. So in the case where you want to buy gold now, this is the price at which you'll be buying. You can see the price is changing and you realize that these prices are not the same thing. And of course, this price is higher than this price, and not just for gold, for everything. The ask price is usually higher than the bid price or equal to the bid price. Now you know what the bid price is, you know what the ask price is. You can add any symbol to your market watch. So now we have navigator. In case where you do not have this navigator, you can go for view. Also, you activate your navigator through this. And under your navigator, you can see this is your broker's name, right? And you have account, you have indicators, you have expert advisor, we have script. Automatically, this has given us clue of what we'll be dealing with, right? But for now, what you have under your account are all the account that you have ever logged into this terminal. And indicators are all the indicators that are available by default, and maybe you've developed it yourself, which we are going to do, or maybe you added it from the internet or whatever. All the indicators installed available for you on this terminal. And for the expert advisor, these are the expert advisor that I've installed or that I've created myself on this terminal. And script are all the script that I've ever created, or the one that comes with this terminal, right, when I install the terminal. So that is that. So we are going to explain what indicators is, what expert advisor is, and what script is, probably in the next lecture. So now, but for now, just try to understand what terminal is. So I want you to be comfortable with this terminal. So that is why I'm trying to explain what everything is. So now you know. So to have a quick recap, so now you know what the chart is, and I'm very sure you can configure the chart to your taste. So you know a bullish candle, you know a bearish candle. You can even change it from this kind of color. Maybe you're not comfortable with this, you like it red and blue. Maybe you like it red and blue or green and red, whatever, just like this. You can configure it now, and based on what you configure, you can tell which one is which. And even if you do not know, maybe you can't remember what you configure, just by looking at the position of the candle relative to the next one or the previous one, you'll be able to tell what kind of candle it is. For example, look at this candle. It is obvious that this candle is closing ahead of this. So you can see that this candle is closing higher than this. And even if this, I'm not familiar with what the color is representing, I know that this candle closed higher than this, automatically it is a bullish candle, and this one is closing higher than this, automatically it is a bearish candle, right? I do not really need to know about the color configuration. Just by looking at it, you'll be able to tell if within that span the candle was formed, was it a bullish formation or a bearish formation, So also you know about the symbol, you know about navigator and so on. Another thing I want you to understand is that each symbol or each pair, each security, each instrument have a particular specification that you must be aware of. So now, what are specification? So whatever symbol you want to know about the specification, what you can do is come to your market watch. So let's say I want to know about this gold. I want to know about gold, right? So I can right click on it and then I'll go for specification. Now, this pop-up, in the case where it is smaller for you, you can just expand, maybe it is too big, you can reduce. So now, what are this information? The information here is telling me that the spread is floating. That means it's not a fixed one, right? So the difference between the ask price and the bid price is not fixed. It is a floating one. There's not a fixed value for it, right? So that is what this means. And for digits, it means how many digits do I have behind the point of the price on this chart. So going back here, you can see that we have, for example, this price, we have 4556.92. So we have 2 digits after this price, right? So that means the digit of this pair, this symbol, gold, is 2. So let me go back here. You can see the digit is 2. So if I'm to go back to maybe Euro USD, you can see the digit here is 5. So let me right click for Euro USD. So you can see the digit here is 5, right? So it is as simple as that. So now, what is the stop level? The stop level in most terminal is usually 0, but it's not actually 0. So the stop level is the minimum distance that must be between your stop loss and your entry price, or your take profit and your entry price, or the market price and your pending order. We are going to talk about orders in the next few lectures, but just have it at the back of your mind that your stop level is the minimum distance. But if you check the specification, it's usually 0 for almost all brokers. In fact, I can see all the brokers I've seen so far, the stop level is usually 0, but trust me, it is not 0. The stop level is simply the distance, more like the criteria between the minimum distance that must be between your stop loss and your entry price, or your take profit and your entry price, or the market price and the pending order, the proposed price for your pending order. So this is what I mean. Let me go back here. So let's assume I want to buy now. Let's say I enter a buy position. Now, if I want to add a stop loss, right? So let me see. Let me try to right click on this order and modify. So let's say I want to specify a stop loss. So the stop loss, let's say I want to put a stop loss of okay, you see that I have a buy position. Let's say I want to put a stop loss of 4556.90. You can see it's not even allowing me to be able to click this. It's not making this possible because it's telling me that, wow, that's not possible, bro. You can't modify your stop loss to this level. So the stop loss value is abnormal, or is too close to the market price, or it's just abnormal. But let's say I want to put my stop loss, because of course I'm trying to buy. My stop loss should be behind the market price, right? So let's assume I want to put my stop loss behind the market price. It is going to allow me, right? And my take profit for my buy should be ahead of the market price, right? So that's just the standard. So let's assume I want to put my take profits in here. It might not allow me, because it might be like, you can see it is not allowing me. Okay, you can see, okay, this is not here. Okay, you can see invalid Excel or TP. So you can see that, yes, my stop loss should be there, but it is telling me that I'm too close to the market price. So let's assume I'm trying, you can see, okay, that was not too close. So when the first time I tried it, it was like telling me that, oh, I'm too close to the market price. Please do not do such. So this is a sell position. Let's say I want to put my take profits. Let's say I want to put it ahead. Is it allowing me? No, it is not allowing me, because it's telling me that, oh, you are too close to the market price. So that is the stop level. So let's quickly go back. The next one is margin currency. So the margin currency is also called the base currency, right? So that is, what is the base currency? That means in the case where we are dealing with a Forex pair or a currency pair, right? The currency on the left hand side is the margin currency, and the currency on the right hand side is the quote currency, right? Sometimes we have a symbol or an instrument on our terminal, but trust me, you cannot trade it. So now this is telling me that, is it possible for me, this particular section, this particular line is telling me that I have full access. That means I can trade this full access, right? And can I execute another using the market price? Yes. So it is telling me that execution can be the market price, and also I can set a pending order, right? So I can leave my pending order until I decide to cancel it, right? So now also, what is the minimum volume? What is the minimum lot size that I can allow for this particular pair, right? So 0.01. You can see I have executed 0.02, which is higher than 0.01. So in the case where, let me close this. So in the case where maybe I'm trying to execute for 0.000, you can see I've been hitting on 0 since, and it's telling me that the minimum is 0.01. So you know what, let me try to click this. You can see that it's telling me that, okay, I can trade 0.01, I can trade 0.02, and so on. So but let's see if I can trade less than, you can say I can't trade less than 0.01. And if I click on buy, no matter the number of time I click on buy, since the minimum allowed to trade on this particular pair is 0.01, I can't trade less than 0.01, right? So that is that. So let's say I want to add let me add another pair. Okay, let's say I want to add another pair like the US30. So I'll just double click and I'll close. So I have my US30 here. So let me create this. So I will activate this auto this one click trading. So how I activated is just by using the shortcut of Alt T, or you right click and go for one click trading. This is it. So the moment you click on it, you can see I'm activating and deactivating. So that is that. So now you can see, let's quickly check out, before we try this, let's quickly check out the specification for US30, and you can see that the minimum volume allowed is 1. So on this particular one, I cannot say I want to trade 0.01. It will not allow me. No matter the number, it will not allow me. But on this, I can trade 0.01. But here, the minimum I can trade is, you can see, the minimum I can trade is 1. But if I try to trade 0.1, I won't be allowed. But the moment I try to trade 1, you see, it opened my order. So that is that. Now, let's move to the next one. So now, the maximum volume that I can trade on Euro USD is 200. And if you notice that when we were on USD 30, the maximum that was allowed was 250 lots. So you can see, that is why I said each pair or symbol have their own specification. So you must be aware of the specification, and you can also get them by default, programmatically when we are into the development part. So you can get the minimum lot size, can get the maximum lot size, you can get the digit, you can get the spread, you can get the stop loss level, the stop level, you can get the contrast size, and so on. You can get almost all of these details you programmatically, right? In fact, you can even get, if this terminal auto trading is turned on, right? You can even get that. So and so on. Now, the volume step. What is the volume step? The volume step, we've seen the volume step when I was trying to explain this minimum and maximum lot size. What is the smallest move or change in volume that you can make, right? For example, you can see for this, the volume step is 0.01, right? So now, okay, we are on Euro USD. So let's go back to Euro USD. So if I'm to activate this one click trading, right? So this step, if I try to increase this lot size, it will only move by 0.01. So it will move to 0.03, right? Then 0.04, 0.05, and so on. And if I try to decrease it, it also move by that step, 0.01, right? Now, for USD 30, for US 30, the step is 1. You can see the step is 1. And how do I know that it is 1? I can know through this one click trading. Also, I can know by right clicking on this specification for US 30, and if you come here, you realize that the volume step is 1. So that is why we can only move by 1. Also, we can get this programmatically, and we will see how to get that programmatically, right? So, and that is that. And you can see we have the swipe type, and the swipe for long trade, and the swipe for short trade. So another word for buying is called long, and another word for selling is called short. So if somebody is telling you that, oh, I'm on long trade, that means they are trying to tell you that, oh, they are in a trade and they are forecasting or predicting that the market is going to go up. So that means they are buying. And if they are like, oh, I shorted the stock or I shorted the market, I shorted, and they're like, oh, I enter a short trade for Euro USD or for gold. That means they are predicting that the market will come down, will go lower. So when someone say short, that means sell, and when someone say long, that means buy, right? So and that is that. Also, what section can you trade? The change in price might happen within a particular period, but you might not be allowed to trade within some certain period. For example, on Sunday, you are not allowed to trade. So that is why this is empty. And that is for this pair. If you go for something like BTC USD, it is always available 24/7. So it is always available, Monday to Sunday. So you can see that it has values, right? Compared to something like gold or US 30, which we're working on. So you can see that on Sunday, you do not have the opportunity to trade. And on Saturday, you do not have the opportunity to trade. But on Monday, you start having change in price. You start having tick. You can see price movement. You will have price movement between 12 a.m. on Monday down to 11:59, whatever, down to the next day. But you will only be able to trade this particular US 30, this particular symbol. You will only be able to trade from 1 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. So that's that. Even if you can see that, oh, the price is moving, but you are trying to buy or you're trying to sell, but you are not allowed. That is because you are only allowed to trade between this time section. And you can see this market will be happen. That means the market will be open for 1 hour, but trading will not be allowed for the first 1 hour for this particular symbol. So that is what it means. So let's really see for BTC USD. Okay, you can see I can trade on Sunday. The tick will be available for me from 12 a.m. to 11:59, but I can only trade 5 minutes after 12. So between 12 a.m. to 5 after 12, I won't be able to trade. But starting from 5 minutes after 12 down to 11:59 again, I will be able to trade. So that's another thing. And like I said, all symbol or instrument have different specification. So you need to be aware of this specification. And all brokers have different specification. The minimum lot size allowed by the broker on a particular pair might be different from the minimum lot size allowed by a broker by that same pair on another different broker. So for example now, US 30, the minimum lot size allowed is 1. And for another broker, the minimum lot size might be 0.01. And another broker might say the minimum lot size is 0.1, depending on. So you need to be aware of what specification your peer is on a particular broker, right? Do not just say, but I used to trade on XNet and the minimum lot size is 0.1. No, that doesn't mean the minimum lot size will be 0.1 on other broker. So you need to be aware. So that's another thing you need to take note. And you can see for BTC USD, the minimum volume is 0.01 and the maximum volume is 10 compared to 250, which is US 30, and compared to 200, which is Euro USD. That is simply what you need to know about the Forex specification. So I'm very sure you are more confident about using the terminal now, and you are no longer afraid. And in case where you have something like this and you are not happy, so you can just make sure you have this checked, right? So you can zoom close. You can see now you have the symbol. If you are not satisfied with this grid, you can right click and go for grid. If you are not satisfied with this, you can right click and go for this, and so on. You can just try to play with this. You can add the volume. You can see if you are trying to scroll back and it's not allowing you, you can quickly go back, and it will allow you to go as much as possible to the end. And if you want to jump back to the front, you can see. And if you do not want this space, you can just activate this. So you can play with this, right? So, and it's important that you start with a demo account, and as you move on, you learn more, right? But for now, I believe all of what I've explained so far is enough for you to continue with the course. So I hope I'm able to break down things you should know about MetaTrader 4. And as we move further, we learn more. So I'll see you on the next one.